Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 99 based on novel. So let's start. The sword in the hand of the god king Wuxin suddenly split into 12 swords. These 12 swords formed a sword formation and besieged the stone monster leader and the 3 super powerful stone monsters at the same time. Emperor Guoshu and the god king Wuxin cooperated very skillfully, and when he saw his friend performing the sword formation, he also broke out completely. The Hunyuan blood in his body completely erupted, and a surging blood-colored aura spread. Regardless of the damage to his body, Emperor Guoshu used the Great Collapse of Heaven and Earth, one of the 2 ultimate secret techniques he mastered. Boom boom boom. The Emperor Guoshu held 8 weapons in his 8 arms, causing the world to twist. The first blow he swung was a heavy hammer which cracked the huge stone monster's body. The third blow was a black axe, and the stone monster wailed, and its body was cut off. In the blink of an eye, the continuous moves that destroyed the world seemed to return everything to chaos, and the stone monster was strangled into a chaotic airflow. This scene shocked the other stone monsters. The Emperor of Guoshu is really fierce when he explodes. Luo Feng was secretly shocked. The stone monster was comparable to the strength of the Lord of Qianquan, and its body was as tough as the flesh of the Lord of Qianquan's Hunyuan bloodline. After more than 10 consecutive attacks, it was blasted into slag. Beautiful. Wuxin God King was overjoyed. Guoshu, quickly kill those small stone monsters. I will deal with these 3 stronger ones. Now that he only had to deal with the leader of the stone monsters and 2 super strong stone monsters, Wuxin God King's burden was also lightened a lot, and the sword formation could do it. Roar tilde tilde. The leader of the stone monster roared angrily, and the other 2 super strong stone monsters also bombarded angrily. The sword formation of the Wuxin God King was extremely tenacious, like a cage that trapped the 3 of them, forcing them to watch the Emperor Guoshu burst out with all his strength and kill the entangled stone monsters one by one. The more than 300 stone monsters were being entangled by more than 300 Luo Fengs. Boom! 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 Wherever the Emperor Guoshu passed, the stone monsters with the strength of the ordinary God King's second realm also had some differences in strength. The stronger ones needed 3 or 4 moves to be killed. The weaker ones might be smashed into pieces with 1 hammer. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 stone monsters died. The entire stone monster tribe began to stir. Although they were not very intelligent, they would be angry, afraid, and attached to their companions. Meet up! The extremely angry stone monster leader roared, and the roar contained its will. The stone monster leader, along with 2 powerful subordinates, also took the initiative to join up with the other companions. Boom tilde tilde tilde. Luo Feng's more than 300 clones could only entangle but could not trap each other. These stone monsters continued to gather together, and after gathering together, they actually merged naturally. They can merge into one. Guoshu Emperor said. The Wuxin God King laughed. They gave up the siege. Once they merged into one, they seemed to become stronger, but they became individuals. The individuals with stupid moves, even with terrifying power, still could not prevent the escape of the Samsara building team. Boom tilde tilde. As the stone monster leader joined his fellow tribesmen and integrated into them, the super large stone monster they formed was already extremely huge. Retreat! Luo Feng and his men were not afraid at all. With the Wuxin Divine King's ultimate escape method, their agility and speed were obviously much stronger than that of the super-large stone monster, and they quickly shook it off and fled far away. Roar tilde tilde tilde. The super-large stone monster was there, roaring in anger. After chasing for hundreds of steps, the God King Wuxin had already escaped the influence of the Dream Realm's biological field and disappeared completely. They actually let them escape. Far away, members of the 2 realms palace all felt a little regretful. Although the members of the Samsara building are strong enough, if they are besieged by nearly 100 stone monsters at the 2nd level of the Divine King, most of them will die this time. The winged woman shook her head, but this time there is one more person who is good at splitting himself. He can control hundreds of clones at the same time, and can entangle 89 creatures in the dream realm of the second level of the God King. Even though it's just entanglement, it's still amazing. Another difficult existence has risen in the origin continent. All parties were watching. They were all overlords of the second level of the Divine King, but they also understood that even though they were both at the second level of the Divine King, there were still big differences between them. For example, the Master of the Space-Time Boat only cultivates one avenue, the origin of time, but he is the one who has the highest achievement in this avenue in the entire origin continent. Even if he is only at the peak of the second level of the Divine King realm, he walks in different timelines and has 3 lives. Even the emperors and monarchs of the origin continent are very troubled. Emperors and monarchs, even if they have ultimate life forms, can only contact his present body and cannot threaten the past body and future body of the space-time boat. Like Wuxin Divine King, except for the time when he took the initiative to die and reincarnate, his true body has never died, no matter whether it was the Emperor's siege or the crisis in the Treasure Land. This kind of Divine King of the second level is naturally much stronger than the Lord of Tianquan and the Lord of Yu. He can entangle so many dream creatures because they are not very intelligent and use simple tactics. If he encounters the God Kings, their tactics are much more sophisticated. If he wants to entangle one, he needs to spend a lot of energy. Even so, it shouldn't be difficult to entangle 7 or 8 Divine Kings of the second stage. I don't know his true identity, which old guy he is. Everyone concealed their aura and changed their appearance. They naturally suspected that Luo Feng was an old man in reality. It should be a peak existence of the second level of God King. The team at Samsara Building has never seen him before. It seems there is a new member. They said. Although the white-haired palace master was surprised that there was one more formidable warrior in the Samsara Building, he did not care too much. There were many more formidable warriors than Luo Feng in the origin continent. If there was one more person of the level of the Queen of Wind City or the God King of Earth, it would cause a shock to the entire origin continent. Let's go. There is no need to stay in this dream space. Let's go to the next one. The white-haired palace master said. Walk. The Two Realms Palace team quietly left this space and headed for the next dream space. Under the leadership of the God King Wuxin, Luo Feng and his companions quickly escaped from the pursuit of the super-large stone monster. Ha ha, we all survived. Emperor Guishu laughed. Thanks to Brother Luo He. Wu Xinshenwang looked at Luo Feng. Brother Luo He, you have cultivated the art of clones to an incredible level. There are not many people in the entire origin continent who can match you. Luo Feng smiled. There are still many. There are more than one emperor and monarch who are good at splitting themselves into 2. That's the only thing I'm good at. Luo Feng said, I'm much worse in other aspects. The allocation we agreed on before is no longer suitable now. Guishu Emperor said. Brother Luo He does not only detect dangers and search for treasures. When encountering strong enemies, he can also help intercept many enemies. Then Guishu and I will each give half of the quota to Brother Luoha. Wuxin Divine King said, in this way, Guishu, I, and Brother Luoha will each give 30%. Luo his clone is powerful, I'm taking advantage of it. Yunqian God King said with a smile. Her share ratio seemed to have not changed, but the team was stronger as a whole and obtained more treasures, so she naturally got more. She knows her own limitations and thinks that a 10% share is already pretty good considering her contribution. Then I won't refuse. Luo Feng didn't act pretentiously. It's great. Guishu Emperor said, we were tricked this time. Although I don't know the real identity of that winged woman. I have met her many times in the Treasure Land. She is a member of the Two Realms Palace. The Two Realms Palace is plotting against us again. The Wuxin Divine King was also quite angry. I tried to track them down just now, but they were very good at hiding their methods, and I didn't detect any traces. In terms of the ability to track down the enemy, Wu Xinshenwang is also very strong. The team of the Two Realms Palace is usually led by the Palace Master's clone. Guishu Emperor said, the Palace Master of the Two Realms Palace is an alien after all, and his realm is comparable to the ancestors of the two countries. He is hiding on purpose, and none of us can find him. At this moment, Luo Feng also understood why the two ancient countries were targeting the Liangjie Palace, Wanfa Tower, and the time and space boat. Because these three alien forces are huge in number, they are divided into multiple teams, led by alien masters to fight for opportunities. The alien masters have a sharp eye and are looking for some top treasures. The intensity of their competition is much stronger than that of the Samsara building. "Let's find an opportunity later," said the God King Wu Xin. "Brother Luo He, it is very common for different forces to fight against each other. You will see more in the future," Emperor Guishu said with a smile. Luo Feng nodded. "Let's leave this dream space. The Two Realms Palace has also explored here. I guess there are very few treasures that are easy to find." "Good. Go to the next dream space." The team from the Samsara building quickly left and continued to explore another dream space. Within this mountain forest space, Luo Feng left a clone of the world's life form here. This clone occupies 1,000th of the energy reserve, and over time, it will naturally absorb energy and grow slowly. I have explored this mountain forest space through the Samsara building and the Two Realms Palace. There are very few treasures. It is estimated that it will be relatively peaceful for a period of time. Luo Feng sat cross-legged on a piece of grass. Creatures in the dream realm usually live in fixed territories. Only very few will leave the territory under special circumstances. Try to practice the Great Destruction Refining Heart method here. Luo Feng was not in a hurry to go to the deep space of the dream domain to practice, because he still needed to accompany his companions to hunt for treasures. The deep space of the dream domain would put too much burden on the spiritual will and would affect the combat performance. In the middle space of the dream realm, although there were occasionally some terrifying dream realm creatures that even Luo Feng could not detect, and he was attacked by these dream realm creatures while searching for treasure, with the strength of Luo Feng and his team, they were still able to deal with them together. This team, under the control of the extremely powerful Emperor, and the Wuxin God King, who has many tricks, has a strong teamwork. Now there is also Luo Feng, who has many clones and is very good at entanglement of the enemy. The team's ability to deal with risks has been greatly improved. Ha ha ha, with Brother Luo He here, we are much safer exploring the dream realm. The Emperor of Belonging smiled. Just now, that ultimate realm creature was madly chasing the other members of the team. But in fact, those members were all transformed by Brother Luo He. The God King Wuxin laughed. The God King Yunqian also felt much more relaxed. In the past, exploring the dream realm was frightening and dangerous. With a powerful companion in the team, it is completely different. This is the only trick I have to clone myself, Luo Feng said with a smile. They sat by a stream drinking and chatting, waiting for the result of Luo Feng's clone's exploration. Suddenly, Luo Feng and the others looked far away. The team was flying at super high speed in the distance. There were 9 figures in the team. The leader was a figure wearing a robe. The figure had 3 faces. One was the front face, the left side, and the right side. The 3 faces were observing the surroundings. Wanfa Tower. Emperor Guishu, Wuxin God King, and Yunqian God King were all shocked and no longer smiled. Luo Feng also saw the robed figure in the team. Is that the owner of Wanfa Tower? Luo Feng had never dealt with the owner of Wanfa Tower, and he had no fear at all. But he also collected detailed information about this owner of Wanfa Tower. The founders behind the Two Worlds Palace, Wanfa Tower, and the Lonely Boat of Time and Space, these 3 alien forces, have different methods. The owner of the Two Worlds Palace is domineering and the most powerful, and the Two Worlds Palace has the greatest momentum. The old demon of time and space in the space-time Lonely Boat is extremely low-key, unscrupulous, gloomy, and vicious. Even the 2 ancient countries are most afraid of this old demon of time and space. The Wanfa Tower master of the Wanfa Tower is said to have mastered the Wanfa, even if his moves are limited to the Chaos realm. Countless secret methods can make the team under his command change qualitatively and become the most difficult opponent. In the Treasure Land, the most difficult team in a head-on confrontation is the team led by the Wanfa Tower master. Emperor Gidi felt a little pressure and said in a voice transmission, "Let's leave this dream space quickly. Stay away from them." Yes, leave quickly, the farther away from them, the better. Wuxin God King was also a little uneasy. Luo Feng sighed. The Wanfa Tower Master, his moves are suppressed, and he can still make the peak existences of the second level of the God King, such as Giddy Emperor and Wuxin God King, feel afraid and even afraid of him just by leading the team. If the real body can come, how terrible will the Wanfa Tower Master be? These three aliens dared to act so recklessly. No wonder it was said on the origin continent that the true bodies of these three aliens were no less than the ancestors of the two countries. The master of Wanfa Tower led the team and saw Luo Feng and the other four from a distance. It's the team of the Samsara building, and compared to the past, there is one more member with black scales and golden horns. The three faces of the Wanfa building master were all looking at the team of the Samsara building. In an instant, they were observing, studying, and recording a lot of information from many aspects. I have locked them. If they continue to stay in this dream space, we can find an opportunity to deal with them. The Wanfa building master transmitted the message. Yes, building master. The 8 members behind him, 6 of them are in the second level of the God King, and 2 are also invincible in the first level of the God King. They are a combined team selected by the Wanfa building master. According to the secret method passed down by the Wanfa building master, the 8 members of the team cooperate and the overall strength can be qualitatively changed. The members of the Wanfa building admire this building master very much. Because the building master will often guide them in their practice, he can be regarded as a half-master. The team of the Samsara building in the distance quickly left, and in just a moment, they left this dream space. They left this dream space. The Wanfa building master shook his head, too cautious. The entire dream space has a huge amount of space. Each space exists independently. When the Samsara building leaves this space, the Wanfa building master will find it difficult to continue to lock them. They are afraid of the building master. Master, don't worry about the Samsara building. There are God Kings of the second level who directly call master. The Wanfa building master has indeed accepted 15 personal disciples among the internal members. In terms of teaching ability, he is still above the ancestors of the two countries, and also above the alien races behind the Two Realms Palace and the Space-Time Lonely Boat. The Wanfa building is very united, and it is also closely related to the Wanfa building master's willingness to teach internal members. Luo Feng and his team quickly left the dream space. Every time I meet the Wanfa building master, I feel flustered. Wuxin God King couldn't help but say, I feel that no matter what tricks I have, there is no secret in front of him. Obviously his own strength is suppressed by the supreme rules, but he can make his team play a super strong strength. The Emperor of Belonging shook his head. My real body has died at the hands of the Wanfa building team 3 times. Died so many times. Luo Feng was surprised. Yes. Emperor Guishu nodded. The team of Wanfa building cooperated perfectly. When we fought, it seemed that they had calculated all our countermeasures. No matter how we resisted or struggled, we could not escape. I had to use the break the world escape technique to escape every time, but I couldn't carry any living beings with me when I used the break the world escape technique. God King Wuxin also shook his head. Wuxin's break the world escape technique can appear anywhere in the origin continent in an instant, and even leave the origin world. Theoretically, it is possible to go to another origin world. Emperor Guishu said. I can't go. God King Wuxin shook his head. I need to have clear coordinates to have a hope of reaching another origin world. Outside the cage world, even I will get lost. So at most I rush out for a walk and return to the origin world. Awesome. Luo Feng exclaimed, Brother Wuxin, you can actually fly outside the cage world. In terms of escape techniques, Wuxin is indeed at the forefront of the origin continent. Emperor Guishu laughed. How does it feel to fly outside the caged world? Luo Feng was curious. It's very dangerous. Wuxin God King said, outside the cage world, there is an endless Hunyuan space, containing endless Hunyuan power. Once eroded by the Hunyuan power, we, the lives in the cage, will soon be eroded and turned into nothingness, and die completely. After all, we are still caged lives. Those real Hunyuan lives can live comfortably in the Hunyuan space. Wuxin God King said. Luo Feng understood. Yunqian God King often participated in the team and was very clear about the methods of Guishu and Wuxin. Guishu Emperor said, "We have encountered the Liangjie Palace team and the Wanfa Tower team. This time we have also explored 5 dream space, and we can leave. Don't be greedy." Wuxin God King also nodded. The more dream space you explore, you may fall into a big trap one day. I agree. Luo Feng nodded. He had many clones that had already stayed in various dream spaces, and they could take root here. Let's go quickly. I'm a little scared when I see the owner of Wanfa Tower. Yunqian God King also said. Let's go. Just like when they came, Wuxin Divine King used the hidden sky escape technique to lead the entire team back quietly, and once again carefully passed through the Dream Realm entrance area blocked by the 2 ancient countries, and then successfully returned to the normal world of the origin continent. In the blink of an eye, the entire team crossed the long distance from the Dream Realm entrance and arrived at Huangyao Mountain. Inside Huangyao Mountain, Luo Feng and the other 4 were completely relaxed. Haha, this exploration of the Dream Realm was very smooth. Although we were attacked by the 2 realms' palaces and encountered some powerful Dream Realm creatures, it was much easier than before with Brother Luo He here. Emperor Guishu laughed. Let's divide the treasures now. Wuxin Divine King also said. Luo Feng and Yunqian Divine King's eyes lit up. Everyone knows that the treasures we took in the Dream Realm this time are worth about 280 million merits. Wuxin Shenwang said, Sister Yunqian got 28 million merits. The other 3 of us each got 84 million merits. Luo Feng was also a little excited when he heard it. Treasures worth more than 80 million merits? For example, the quota for entering the treasure land infinite space, the 2 ancient countries let the guests exchange it, and it only cost 50 million merits. This income is probably not enough for an ordinary god king of the 1st level in his lifetime. The level of the Lord of Qianquan and others, when they enter the treasure land, the harvest is generally much worse than that of the Emperor Guishu and the God King Wuxin. However, Luo Feng's harvest is equivalent to that of the Emperor. Obviously, hundreds of clones are simultaneously restraining the entire Dream Domain biological community, which shocked Guishu, Wuxin, and others, and they believed that Luo Feng's contribution was no less than the 2 of them. Okay, all are distributed. The God King Wuxin simply distributed the treasures and gave them to the 3 companions. Luo Feng also received a space bag containing many rare treasures. These are all bred in the special environment of the Dream Domain and are extremely precious. However, Luo Feng did not practice the Hunyuan bloodline, so most of them were useless to him. Brother Luo He, do you know the detailed information about the treasures in the Dream Realm? Asked the God King Wuxin. Only by knowing the detailed value can we make better use of them and sell them to other God Kings. I know. Luo Feng nodded. Master Di Chu had given it to him a long time ago. By the way, who among you has the 5-colored treasure medicine? The 5-colored treasure medicine is said to be made from the heart of a boundary beast that surpasses the God King level. Only the 2 ancient countries sell it. Taking it can make oneself and the great Tao of the origin of destruction incomparably compatible, as if the darling of the great Tao of the origin of destruction. With this precious medicine, one's own practice of the great Tao of the origin of destruction can be smoother. The higher the achievement in this aspect, the better the effect of the great destruction refining heart method. But a portion of the precious medicine is worth 10 million merits, and the price is extremely high. Over the long years, many of these 5-colored treasure medicines have been passed on to many guest god kings. No? Guishu, Wuxin, and Yunqian god kings all shook their heads. The 5-color precious medicine is very rare. Although some guest gods have exchanged it, most of them have been used up long ago. Wuxin God King said, "You can go find your master." "Your master is the emperor." Luo Feng nodded. "This operation is over, let's go." Guishu Dejuan said with a smile, "We'll meet again for the next operation." "Okay. We'll meet again next time." Luo Feng and the others all smiled and responded, and everyone was very satisfied with the harvest this time. For Luo Feng, getting a treasure worth thousands of merits just by going out to roam is also a great help to his own path of cultivation. Naturally, he is willing to participate in some of the next operations. Soon, Luo Feng and the other four quietly dispersed, left Huangyao Mountain, and went back to their own places. This video will end here.